Hi there, I'm Krista Seiden, Analytics Advocate at Google, and today I'm joined by Mary Pishney, who is a Product Manager on Data Studio. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Today, Mary is going to tell us all about calculated fields in Data Studio. So with that, I'm going to hand it right over.
Perfect. So Krista, calculated fields in Data Studio are a really powerful feature because they allow you to apply calculations on top of your data.
Yep.
And that's on top of the data as that comes into us. So once you create that calculation, it's available for you and you don't have to go and refresh it. It's just always taking into account incoming data.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually two types of calculations that you can create. One is data source calculated fields and one is chart level calculated fields. And I'll go ahead and talk you through both of them and hop in and show you a demo as well so you can see how to create those in the UI.
Awesome.
So let's go ahead and take a look. So what you're seeing on the screen is a Data Studio report and we're in edit mode. I've created a report here that's using data from a public data set that is actually looking at bike share data out of Austin, Texas. So what you can see here on the screen is that I have a table that's showing me the start station name and then a count of how many trips happened at each station. Now this is pretty cool, but let's say that I actually want to understand the start station name as well as the end station name. So I see that I have end station name as a field in my schema, so I can go ahead and drag that over. This is great. I'll go ahead and make this a little bit easier to read. But what if I actually wanted to create a field that had both of them, we'll call it concatenated together, brought together. Mm-hmm. So what I can do is I can come down here and say, create new field. And this is going to create a data source calculated field. And what that means is that this field will be added to the data source that I'm using and will be available to any other editor who's using that data source in a report or in other reports throughout Data Studio. So I'm going to say we're going to name this start, end station. And I'm going to just do a simple concat here. So I'm going to say concat. And this is similar to a spreadsheet tool where you can type in a formula or function. I'm going to say start station name. And I like to make it easy to read, so I'll do a comma in between. And then I'll say end station name. And you'll see in the bottom left hand of the screen, there's a little indicator telling me that it's checking this formula. So it's checking to make sure that it's valid. It looks good here. We'll go ahead and save it, and it'll check it one more time. And that went ahead and saved. So now if I look back at all fields in my data source, I'll see that I have start and end station name as available field in my data source. So that means I can go over here, I'll see it now in my schema, and I can go ahead and drag that over onto my chart. So let's also take a look at what we call chart level calculated fields. For that, I'm going to go ahead and switch to a new page in this report. And what we have here is the same set of data. So it's still our Austin bike share data. And what I want to do is make some quick calculations that I just want to have on the fly. I don't necessarily want to make them available in the data source level because I might not reuse them very much, but I want to have them available in this report. So in this case, I actually want to take our duration, which is now in minutes, and transform that into an hourly metric. So I'm going to go ahead and say create new field, and I'm going to say trip duration in hours. And then I'm just going to do a basic calculation here. I'm going to say duration minutes divided by 60. And what this is going to do is create this field available within this chart. And so I can quickly apply it, and we'll see this new field show up for us in our chart here. So both are great options for you depending upon what you're looking for. Data source calculated fields are persisted to that data source, making them great for reuse. Mm-hmm. Chart level calculated fields are quick on the fly calculations. Plus, added bonus is that they work on blended data. So if you're trying to make a calculation on top of your blended data, that chart level calculated field is the way to go. But in either case, they're a really powerful tool for you to add additional value to your data in Data Studio. And it's as easy as that.
It really was as easy as that. That was a few simple calculations, and with that, you got so much more value out of that data and the visualizations that you can present to your stakeholders. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, and we hope you guys make use of this. Thanks.